He knew that in the Dream Hunter Academy, there were only 2 people, as him and Lee Minuel. Sure, the 2 of them together could easily win the contest, but the rules clearly said 3 members were required. Kim looked at Shun and asked, "First, tell me, does anyone want to join the Dream Hunter Academy right now? Anyone at all?" Shun froze, caught completely off guard by the question. Her eyes widened in shock as she whispered, "Do you really think so?" Kim quickly apologized, rubbing the back of his neck awkwardly. "Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot." But inside, Kim was already thinking hard. They didn't just need any random person, they needed someone trustworthy. Someone reliable. A teammate they could count on without any surprises. This thought made Kim even more anxious. Is there really anyone out there we can trust? We need one solid member for the team, someone who won't cause problems, someone dependable. Yet, oddly enough, nobody at the Dream Hunter Academy wanted to join. Not a single soul showed interest. Just when Kim was about to lose hope, an image suddenly flashed in his mind. The face of someone familiar, Suyo. A small grin crept onto Kim's face as he turned to Shun and said confidently, "I think I've already found our 3rd member." Kim turned to Shun and asked carefully, "So, if Suyo wanted to evolve within the Dream Hunter Academy, would you say no?" Shun's expression turned serious, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Are you saying you want Suyo to participate in the contest?" Kim sat firmly. "Exactly. I want to bring Suyo along for the contest. We need that kind of power." But Shun immediately shook her head. "No, you absolutely can't do that." She took a deep breath and explained, "Suyo is disabled by Magic Saint now. I am not saying it would be a bad thing if he joined our Dream Hunter Academy, it would actually be great. But entering him in the contest under the Academy? That's a completely different matter. It just wouldn't be right." Kim frowned, trying to understand. "I am not asking to do this just for one contest," he said. "There's another reason behind it." Before Shun could respond, the scene shifted. Suddenly, we see the majestic Taj Mahal, but this isn't just any place, this is Magic Saint's domain. Inside, a man approaches Kim and says, "Please wait here for a couple of minutes. Magic Saint will be with you shortly." Kim sat down on a plush sofa, remarking to himself, "Well, this is surprising. One call from me and Magic Saint fixed the appointment so quickly. And this sofa is surprisingly comfortable." Just then, a voice called out from behind, "Who are you?" Kim turned to see none other than Magic Saint himself, stepping into the room. "It's been a long time since we last met," Magic Saint said calmly. He looked directly at Kim and asked, "Now tell me, why exactly do you need me?" Kim looked at Magic Saint and said, "I am guessing your health still isn't back to 100%, huh?" Magic Saint chuckled lightly and replied, "You right, it's not the best yet." Kim smiled and said, "Feels like we met just the other day, right Magic Saint?" Magic Saint declined and agreed, "Yeah, not the best timing, but here we are." Without wasting time, Kim got straight to the point. "So tell me, how's Suyo doing?" Magic Saint's expression softened. "She's doing pretty well. I think she's already trying to demonstrate elemental magic." Hearing that, Kim's eyes widened in surprise and excitement. "Elemental magic? Wait, she's only been here 2 days and already started working on elemental magic? That's fast." Kim then explained, usually, when someone tries to learn the mana proficiency for the first time, it takes at least 3 weeks. Magic Saint smiled knowingly. "You know, when I saw Suyo do it, I was pretty shocked too. She learned mana proficiency properly in just half a day." Kim's jaw dropped. "Half a day? No way." Magic Saint laughed and said, "Believe me, I was just as surprised. I couldn't believe it myself. Even my other disabled one, Jimin, took a whole day to learn mana proficiency." Kim grinned. "Looks like Suyo's setting a new speed record here. At this rate, she might just make the rest of us look like amateurs." Magic Saint nodded. "Exactly. If she keeps this pace, we'll all be chasing her shadow soon enough." Kim chuckled. "Well, guess I better keep up. No slacking off now." Magic Saint said, "Honestly, I never thought I'd come face to face with a hidden magic stone like this. And you know what? I've already decided, whatever little time I have left in this life, I am going to train these kids properly." After finishing that thought, Magic Saint looked at Kim and asked, "So, tell me, why exactly did you come here?" Kim's mind starts racing with worry. He muttered under his breath, "Man, I'm already struggling to even say it out loud." But then, summoning all his courage, Kim laid everything out for Magic Saint, all the struggles, the challenges, and the situation they were in. Magic Saint thoughtfully and said, "All right, so you need Shen." Then Magic Saint added, "And she's disabled. Not somewhere far away, but right inside Shen's Hunter Academy." Hearing that, Magic Saint was genuinely surprised. "Wow, I didn't expect that at all." Kim went on, "The Dark Saint keeps a really low profile. They don't want the Order of Truth to find out about their disabled members. That's why they don't meet their disabled directly. Instead, they pass on messages through me, and I relay them to Lee Minhyul." Magic Saint listened carefully, then Kim said, "Don't you think the Order of Truth is already watching you? And aren't you worried about Suyo? She's just a student now, but what if later the Order of Truth starts targeting her too?" Magic Saint's eyes narrowed, showing a flicker of concern. "That's a valid point. The Order of Truth doesn't miss much. We have to be extra careful." Kim sighed, "Yeah, we can't afford to slip up. Not now." Magic Saint replied, "But if I stay with Suyo, the Order of Truth will never find out about me. And because of that, they'd never dare mess with Suyo either." Then Magic Saint asked, "So, you want to enroll Suyo in the same academy where you study?" Kim nodded eagerly, "Yes, exactly that. But there's just one problem, the time you have to train Suyo will be a bit shorter than usual. I hope you never overlook her safety." In his mind, Kim was thinking, "Suyo is like my little sister, Manuel's daughter. I was already planning to propose this idea to her." Magic Saint smiled and said, "All right then, the Dark Saint is doing the same. Look, I don't have much time left, but I can't ignore Suyo's safety either." Hearing that, Kim's face lit up. He said, "So you agree, right?" Magic Saint firmly, "Yes, I agree. Besides, I can't keep her as my disabled for too long. If Suyo fights, she'll gain experience. Fighting experience is training too, after all." Soon, both Suyo and Kim arrived at the Dream Hunter Academy. Seeing Suyo, Shen's face brightened with joy. Shen said, "Suyo, I'm really happy you're here." Lee Minhyul also greeted warmly, "It's a pleasure to meet you." Then Lee Minhyul approached and said, "Nice to meet you. I am Lee Minhyul. I heard that you Magic Saint's disabled, right?" Before he could say more, Kim quickly shut him up. Then Kim turned to Lee Minhyul and said, "I told you already, you can't just go around telling people stuff like that about yourself." But soon, Kim starts explaining everything about Lee Minhyul, saying, his name is Lee Minhyul, and his Dark Saint's disabled. That made Lee Minhyul furious. He snapped, "Hey! Didn't you tell me not to reveal this to anyone? So why did you just go and tell everyone yourself?" Kim just shrugged, No, it's all fine. I did it on purpose." Lee Minhyul got even more annoyed. "What kind of nonsense is this?" Kim warned, "Don't talk to me like that. If you have something to say, go straight to your mentor." Then Kim introduced Suyo. "This is Suyo. She's Magic Saint's disabled, still a high school exceller. And don't even start imagining she's some supermodel or something." Suyo blushed and laughed. "Hey! What are you saying? I am about to graduate soon, you know." Finally, Suyo said, "Can you please stop treating me like a kid already?" Kim chuckled and replied, all right. Enough introductions. Now it's time to get down to business." He continued, "We three are going to participate in a contest. We'll have to fight, and the three of us, me, you, and Lee Minhyul, will represent our academy." Lee Minhyul enthusiastically, "Sounds good. Let's do this fight together." Suyo looked a little worried and asked, "Do you really think I can do this?" Kim reassured her confidently, "Don't stress. The contest isn't happening anytime soon. Until then, Lee Minhyul and I will train you well." Lee Minhyul smiled and stood next to Suyo. "That guy's right. Plus, we're friends now, so I've got your back." Just then, Shen called Kim over and said, "If you have decided to join the contest, first things first, you need to think of a team name. Have you thought of one yet?" Kim scratched his head nervously and said, "Yeah, I do have a name in mind." Everyone turned to look at Kim, their eyes practically burning holes through him. Kim suddenly felt awkward and asked, "Why are you all staring at me like that?" Then Lee Minhyul said, "All right, if you have decided, then you officially our leader." Suyo quickly added, "Yeah, you our leader now." Kim got excited and said, "Wait, me? I am the leader." Shen nodded in agreement, "Yes, you are. After all, you're the one who put this team together. Kim shrugged and said, well, if you say so, I'll accept it. But in his mind, Kim was thinking, man, I was only thinking about the contest. I never even considered having to come up with a team name. Kim then looked around at the Dream Hunter Academy and asked everyone, so, what do you think? How should our dream team be? Hearing this, both Lee Minhyul and Suyo became really happy and said, yeah, that name sounds perfect. It has a great meaning too. Shen chimed in, definitely, it fits perfectly, Dream Hunter Academy's dream team. Kim smiled and declared, all right then, our team name is officially set, the Dream Team. And our goal is simple, to win this contest. From that day on, Kim explained, their team's name started becoming famous. And just like that, the Dream Team began to spread its wings and grow stronger. After that, we see Kim scrolling through his phone, preparing for training. Meanwhile, Suyo is practicing her magic skills, and Lee Minhyul is busy training with his dagger. Watching all this, Shen mutters, honestly, I can't tell if they re-practicing or just playing some video game. Then, the scene shifts, and we get an explanation about the Red Battle. It's described as a special competition organized by private organizations, no government, no official associations involved. To put it simply, it's the guilds themselves who sponsor these contests. The reason is straightforward, guilds want to pick out the best students to support. Of course, many professional hunters work alone and don't belong to any guild, but they still form their own teams. The main focus here isn't about who's the strongest individually, it's all about the potential of the team and how well they work together. That's why they select the best students from these competitions, and the whole purpose of the Red Battle is to find the cream of the crop. The main reason behind all this is exactly why so many big associations, guilds, and hunters sponsor this battle. A huge amount of money is spent here, which draws lots of media attention. Even the organizers themselves come to watch the event live. But here's the catch, only those coming from League 1 or League 2 academies can participate. This is why so many hunters are eager to compete. Then, the scene shifts straight to the day of the battle. People are chatting, asking, is that Junk Sivu? Suddenly, Junk Sivu's face appears on screen. Someone confirms, yeah, you're absolutely right. But wait a minute, behind him is Park In-ju. They go on, joking about how complicated these names are. I am going to mess up pronouncing these swordsman names. Then they mention Minju as well. The crowd gets amazed when they realize it's not just Junk Sivu who's here, his entire team has come along. All of them are from the Gun Academy, and remarkably, all three hold spots in the top 5 of their academy rankings. People start whispering excitedly, this is crazy. Gun Academy has sent some of their most powerful members here. Everyone grows curious to see which members Hunter Mile Academy and L Academy will bring. Then, one guy in the group says firmly, don't tell me Lee Hyun is coming from Hunter Mile Academy. Right next to him, another person nods and asks, is this the one they say is the most powerful pro hunter in history? A third voice joins in, yeah, I think it's finally time for him to make his appearance. Amidst the crowd, someone whispers, I heard that even the 5 heroes disables are going to enter this contest. Another person immediately snaps, come on, don't joke with me. How can their disables even compete here? It doesn't matter at all why such great heroes would pick these useless disables. Meanwhile, their own dream team arrives. Lee Minhyul grumbles, hey, why is no one talking about our master here? Kim shrugs and replies, and why would they talk about me anyway? Then, we get the rundown on round 1 of the Red Battle. The goal, defeat the 7-star monster Archnie as quickly as possible. The faster you take it down, the more points you score. We see a guy named Lee Don, who belongs to the Aries Guild. He's currently a B-rank hunter. He watches as the Sudra Academy tries to clear the stage but fails, taking 37 minutes and 12 seconds, way too slow. Next, it's revealed that Nature Academy also failed the challenge. He was getting really frustrated now and said, how on earth are so many people failing the first round? Just then, a bald guy sitting nearby chimed in, of course. The difficulty this time has been ramped up way beyond before. And guess what? Jimin did some research on this dungeon. He explained that Jimin, who is Magic Saint's apprentice, had studied the dungeon thoroughly. There's even some artificial magic embedded in it, he added with a sly smile. Lee Don, overhearing all this, finally understood why so many contestants were failing. He thought to himself, This time, my master is going to be seriously surprised. Meanwhile, I'll just watch what the remaining teams are up to. Soon after, it was announced that the first round had been cleared by the Gaiwan Academy. They clocked in at 30 minutes and 12 seconds. The crowd buzzed excitedly, chatting among themselves. So Gaiwan Academy finally did it, someone said, but what about Hunter Mile Academy and L Academy? What are they doing? The bald guy from before shrugged. Their time difference is huge. That's probably why they haven't cleared the dungeon yet. Suddenly, someone else exclaimed, "Hey, look! Someone else cleared it too." The bald guy perked up. Really? Who? Hunter Mile or L Academy? But it wasn't either of those, it was their very own Dream Academy. Hearing this, the bald guy blinked in surprise. Dream Academy? I've never heard of them before. Well, whatever, let's just check how fast they cleared it. Everyone turned to look at the timer. It showed an amazing 9 minutes and 34 seconds. Both men were absolutely shocked. One of them gasped, "Wait, what? They cleared the dungeon in under 10 minutes. How is that even possible?" The bald guy, clearly suspicious, pointed at the machine monitoring the dungeon run and said, "Hey, check that machine. Maybe it's malfunctioning." He muttered, "There has to be something wrong with the machine. No way someone can finish this dungeon in 9 minutes flat." The man standing below the machine scoffed and said, "Give me a minute to check." After a brief pause, he said, "Sorry to disappoint, but there was indeed an error in the machine." Then the bald guy started talking again, "Just as I thought." Behind him, Levi nodded and said, "Yeah, I also felt something didn't quite add up. This just doesn't make any sense." The conversation continued, and the guy below the machine said, "The machine is showing a 30-second delay in the timing." Hearing that, both of them got even more curious and said, "Wait, what did you say?" The man below replied, "Give me 2 minutes. The real-time data will show up soon." After a moment, the screen finally updated, revealing that Dream Team had completed the dungeon in just 9 minutes and 1 second. Then the scene shifted to the 7-star monster, Archina, where we see someone effortlessly slicing through it. And guess what? The person doing all the slashing isn't just anyone, it's him, thinking to himself, if Mr. Ark hears about these monsters, he's definitely going to lose his cool. At this point, we get introduced to Instructor Ark, who teaches fresh novices at Transition Academy. Meanwhile, Kim says, "I'll only use my peers' help when the situation gets really dangerous." After that, we see a swarm of spider monsters throwing webs at Kim. Watching the webs fly, Kim calmly says, "All right, so this is the spider's web. Looks like it's really strong, and the lattice pattern is pretty dense too. But in the end, it's just a web, and there's no way it can hold up against my peer." Then, suddenly, someone rushes toward the spiders with lightning speed. It's none other than Lee Minuel, who effortlessly slices through the spiders one by one. Nearby, Suyo stands watching them battle the spiders. She thinks to herself, these two are really fast. They don't even seem to be struggling to kill the monsters. And they haven't even used their full power yet. She clenches her fists and mentally decides, I can't just stand here doing nothing. I have to do something too. Besides, I've been practicing a lot of spells recently. After that, we see Suyo casting her spell, causing thick roots to burst from the ground, crushing the monsters beneath them. It's then revealed that this is exactly how Dream Team managed to clear the dungeon during the nomination round. Lee Minuel turns to Kim and says, "Captain, every time I meet you, you surprise me. How do you move so fast? And whenever I see you, you seem to have grown so much. Are you not going to share your secret with me on how you grow so quickly?" Kim chuckles and replies, "Hey, calm down for once. And besides, what happened to all those weapons of yours? They were so many, where did they go?" Lee Minuel grins, "I threw them all away." Kim raises an eyebrow, "Wait, what? Why on earth did you throw them away?" Lee Minuel explains, "My master told me not to rely on so many weapons." Kim shakes his head in disbelief, "Well, that's one way to make a point. They didn't like it one bit, so that's why I threw away all those weapons. Now, all I have left are my dagger and this bow and arrow." Kim tells Minuel, "You should have used your bow and arrow first, not the dagger." But instead of answering, Minuel tells the team, "Actually, I had to protect Suyo first, so I used the dagger before the bow and arrow. When needed, I used the bow and arrow too." Then Suyo calls Kim and Lee Minhyul over and says, "Why are so many people staring at us?" Meanwhile, from the side, the crowd is buzzing. Did this team really clear the dungeon in 9 minutes? How is that even possible? Is the machine broken or something? Someone in the crowd whispers, "That's Kim Sejun, right? The guy who came first in Hunter Academy. And the one standing behind him must be Lee Minhyul." We then see Kim staring at someone, thinking, "Why is that person looking at me like that?" But the person says nothing and quietly walks away. Kim wonders in his mind, is that really Jan Sin? Lee Minhyul thinks to himself, "Wow, people are starting to recognize us now." Then Minhyul excitedly points and says, "Hey, look. That's our captain." Kim quickly cuts him off with a scolding, "Hey! Didn't I tell you to be quiet?" After that, Suyo speaks up, saying, "Honestly, this is all getting really embarrassing." Then some people approach, asking, "What's going on? Why is everyone making so much noise? Did they just find out about the amazing feats we have accomplished?" We see 3 people, and the one in the middle proudly says, "We re from the greatest Hunter Academy, and we completed it in 31 minutes and 3 seconds. But no one pays attention to him at all. The poor guy gets so frustrated that tears well up in his eyes. At that moment, someone steps aside and says, "Excuse me, could you move a bit?" We find out this person is from L Academy, and they finished the dungeon in 32 minutes and 24 seconds. And with this, the episode ends, marking the official completion of Season 1. At the start of the episode, we're introduced to the second round. The task? Collect as many magic crystals as possible, all from inside the dungeon. But there's a twist, there's a time limit too. Then, the scene shifts. We see Lee Minhyul speeding through the dungeon, making the magic crystals disappear one by one. As many of you already know, Lee Minhyul is a disciple of the Dark Saint, and his inherited abilities directly from the Dark Saint. That's why no one, not even the monsters, could sense him. It's like he vanished into thin air. Next, we're told the results of the second round. Our dream team clears the round in just 4 minutes and 23 seconds, securing first place. Then comes the third round. This time, the challenge is to defeat an artificial monster named Link Bell, and again, it all depends on your speed, how fast you can take it down. Kim doesn't waste any time. He throws his spear directly at the monster, killing it instantly. The results are announced. Dream Team finishes the round in just 19 seconds, maintaining their first place. Moving on to the fourth round, the team must survive inside the dried forest. The team that survives the longest secures first place. Now let me remind you, this is the same dried forest where Magic Saint Minhyul and Kim had once emerged from after defeating that monstrous tree. And now, they have to survive in the same forest. The scene shifts again. We see our heroes entering the forest and taking out enemies one after the other. Lee Minhyul is attacking with his bow and arrow, Kim is slashing enemies using his spear, and Suyo is shielding everyone with her barrier, making it nearly impossible for monsters to land a hit. During the chaos, Lee Minhyul calls out, "Captain, I'm out of arrows." Interesting thing here, they don't call each other by name anymore. They use ranks. Right now, Kim is the captain. Lee Minhyul then says, "Captain, you go ahead. I'll handle things here. Just defeat the monsters ahead." Kim nods and charges forward with great speed. He soon reaches the monster crowd and starts attacking furiously. The power behind each attack is overwhelming, severely affecting the monsters. Some of them even start screaming in pain, but Kim doesn't stop. He keeps attacking non-stop, thinking to himself, these monsters are regenerating way too quickly. But their numbers are definitely decreasing. Then Kim pauses for a second. His attention is caught by a glowing, orb-like object, something so bright, he can't understand what it is. What is this thing, he wonders. And why is it floating mid-air? He couldn't see it with his naked eyes, but thanks to Chiron's senses, he's able to detect it clearly. The strangest part? The object, a shining white stone, is emitting a massive amount of mana. Kim can feel it completely. He mutters, "Oh no. Don't tell me this is the dungeon core." It's a possibility, maybe this core is the reason the monsters are regenerating. Right at that moment, a monster tries to sneak up on Kim, but without even turning around, he kills it instantly. That's how powerful Kim has become in Season 2, one clean slice, and the monster's gone. Next, Kim pulls out Gun Jinna from his subspace pouch. He aims straight at the glowing stone and throws it with full force. "Let's test this thing out," he says. His spear follows closely behind. But to his shock, the gun Jinnah passes straight through the glowing stone. The spear also stops mid-air, hitting something invisible. Kim is stunned. What just happened? How did it pass through? Did I misjudge this entire situation? But he quickly reassures himself. No, that can't be. Chiron senses are way too sharp to be wrong. Kim stands still, trying to make sense of it all. Then something clicks in his mind. He looks at his spear and thinks, I never truly tried to understand the full power of this spear. I still don't know what it's capable of. What if this spear is just as overpowered as my gun Jinnah? That thought alone makes him break out in sweat. Suddenly, a mischievous idea pops into his head. Without hesitation, he teleports near the glowing stone. He raises his weapon and says, "Let's try it once and for all. What's the harm?" Right then, the scene shifts again. We're taken to the Gain Academy, where students are battling the same type of monsters. After that, the scene shifts to the dungeon. From behind, someone named Minchen Jung says, "You must stay at your center and don't move from there at all." Minchen Jung reassures, "You don't need to worry. I will stay right here." The scene then shifts back to the dungeon where someone says, "You all are doing really well. Just try to survive a little longer here." Next, the results of the Dungeon Academy are shown. Those who cleared the dungeon finished with a time of 44 minutes and 51 seconds. After that, we see the Goyang team coming out of the dungeon. The person standing at the very back says, "This is a good sign. Now, we will definitely move ahead of many other teams." Then a girl agrees, "Yes, that's right. This time, we didn't make any mistakes." Man Jung, in his mind, says, "This is really good. We didn't make a single mistake here." That's great because the Hunter Mile Academy's previous record was just 20 minutes. We survived 20 minutes more than them. Then, the girl standing at the back says, "Look, even Jung isn't angry this time. That means we did a really good job." And if you look at Jung, he seems quite happy. Jung thinks to himself, this result is going to be the best result yet. Meanwhile, at the Goyang Academy, the girl's attention shifts to the Dream Team. She says, "Look, that's the Dream Team. Lee Minute Kim is talking. Captain, I don't think I will ever be able to surpass you in my life. I feel like I will never become even close to what you are." Suyo says, "Oppa, how did you finally do it?" The suspense is about to be revealed a little later. Then the girl tells Sinwoo, "Look, they all arrived before us. So, it's confirmed that the result will definitely be in our favor this time. Get ready, we are going to move ahead of them." Sinwoo thinks to himself, "Just as I thought. These people always brag the most, but they won't be able to do anything here." Then we see a man with a shield who gets very curious after seeing something. He says, "What exactly is this? And why do I feel that there is some problem inside every machine they have?" Sinwoo's attention also shifts towards that direction. When he looks back, he becomes very shocked. His sweat starts to pour, and his face shows extreme fear. The audience is also shown, and they look very curious. The crowd is just saying, "How is all this even possible?" Everyone there is asking the same question, how can someone see the main core of the dungeon? Then we see Lee, who also looks very curious. Finally, the Dream Academy's results are shown. The results say that the Dream Team's time is Imra Jabal, which means no one can measure or surpass them. Suddenly, someone shouts, "What does it mean by Imra Jabal? It can't be measured." Lee says, "I feel this is just a matter of a month ago when they gave a mock test inside Hunter Mile Academy. But still, how can anyone get this strong so quickly?" He continues, "If they keep progressing like this, those who haven't become professional hunters yet will become one in just a month. For me, it won't take 5 years, it might not even take a year to surpass everyone. But no matter what happens, I have to recruit this guy into my guild." Then we see several people on the phone with each other. They are asking, "Tell me, what is the current fund of our guild? How much money is available in our guild?" It's clear that everyone is excited to recruit Kim into their guild. Then we see Kim looking at something with a sharp gaze. He's not looking at anyone else but at his old spare weapon. In his mind, he thinks, "I swear, I can't believe it myself. What is it exactly?" There is some power inside that ignores any mana barrier. It means mana doesn't affect it, it just passes through. But my new spare weapon also has some kind of similar power. At first, I thought there was no difference between the two. I assumed both weapons were the same. Now, I feel there is something special about my old spare weapon. The scene then shifts to the previous moment, where Kim has reached the white stone. He attacks the stone with the help of his old spare weapon. As a result of the attack, the stone splits right in the middle. Kim is very surprised because he had thought the gunner weapon had passed through it, but now his old spare weapon has cut the stone in half. And here, in the present time, Kim is also thinking the same thing. What exactly are the properties of this? Until now, he doesn't even know the special feature of his old spare weapon. Then he starts wondering in his mind whether this weapon's ability could be that if it attacks anyone, it provides some kind of assistance. After that, we see Lee Min-yul happily looking at Kim, saying that the monsters that suddenly appeared directly have disappeared. It seems to him that our captain must have defeated all those monsters at once. Here, Suyo also becomes very upset. It feels like Kim has some kind of ability that caused the entire dungeon to collapse on itself. Next, someone asks, "What trick did you use after all?" Then Kim looks around, trying to see who is speaking. It turns out to be none other than Jang Sin-woo, who asks Kim what cheat he used. Kim thinks to himself that it seems Jang's whole team must be very surprised. Didn't he come here as their representative? Then Kim asks Jang what he means by saying he used a cheat. Jang replies, "Don't make excuses in front of me. I know you used some cheat." Hearing all this, Lee Min-yul becomes very angry. It looks like he is about to attack Jang, but Kim stops him just in time. Then Jang tells Kim, "All right, you tell me, what's your response to this current situation?" At this moment, Jang Sin-woo thinks to himself that Kim is truly outstanding and performs very well. He had also heard that Kim cleared all the tests excellently in the Hunter Mile mock exam. Still, no one can create an unmerism point, which is supposed to be impossible in the 4th round. If it had been Lee Hon instead of Kim, it might have been possible. Then we see Jang not saying anything further to Kim. He quietly turns and starts to leave. Seeing this, Lee Min-yul becomes very angry and shouts, "Bastard! How can you just walk away from us after causing trouble?" But Jang ignores him and quietly walks away. Jang thinks to himself, how can I compare him to that girl? Because her level is way higher. Meanwhile, Lee Min-yul is still very angry and says, "What was that guy's problem? He came here, insulted us, and left." Suyo says she is also very upset by his words. However, she adds that for now, they have to stay calm because the last round is still left. Then Suyo asks Kim, "By the way, Oppa, tell me, I feel like our victory is already decided." Kim replies, "Yeah, if you see it that way, it is kind of decided." Kim thinks to himself that he expected the matches to be more interesting, but everything feels very boring and disappointing so far. Then someone behind calls out, "Finally, I found you guys." He shouts, "Excuse me, Dream Team, can I talk to you?" The entire Dream Team turns around to look. Kim asks, "Tell me, how can I help you?" The man replies, "I want to say something. Actually, I'm here to give you all an offer." Hearing this, Kim gets confused and asks, "What offer? What kind of offer is this?" The man explains, "If you agree to our conditions, you will get a prize pool of 6.5 billion for the match." Hearing this, Kim and his entire team become very excited. The man continues, "As you all know, the 5th round will feature a 9-star monster." Kim agrees and says, "Yes, I know the 9-star monster is coming in our 5th round." Kim then explains that even if the 9-star dungeon monster appears, they won't have any problems because all these monsters are artificially created and cannot harm them much. After that, this guy explains that the rule of the deal is not that you have to defeat the boss. Instead, what matters here is how much power the JOT student uses to attack the boss. From this, we will understand how quickly a student adapts to their surroundings. Based on this, all the scores will be given moving forward. After hearing this, Lee Min-woo and Suho say, "All right, so this is how it's going to be. Of course, if you manage to defeat the boss here, you will get a very high prize pool. However, there is still a history that no team has succeeded in defeating the monster this way." Kim asks, "So, do you mean that?" The guy replies, "Yes, you guessed it right. You will have to defeat the boss." What this guy means is that until now, in all the rounds cleared here, the goal was either to defeat the monster or quickly complete the task. But according to this offer, Kim will have to defeat the boss. Then, the guy explains that if the Dream Team fails to defeat the monster, they will not receive any of the prize money. Kim then asks, so, what happens if I refuse this? The guy says, of course, there won't be any disadvantage to you if you reject this offer. After all, it's just an offer, not a permanent rule. You can decline the offer and continue clearing your levels normally, earning your regular prize money. Next, the guy clarifies that this offer is not being given by him but by someone else. He thinks to himself, I had a feeling this wouldn't be possible. It must be the Grade 3 Academy that is offering such an offer. Importantly, just like Junk Sinwoo was suspected of cheating, all the top 3 academies probably believe that the Dream Team is cheating. They all want to easily destroy the Dream Team to regain their pride. After this, Lee Minute-woo says, Captain, you don't need to think too much. Whatever decision you make, we will agree with it. Then Suho adds, yes, you can do whatever you want. The guy continues, I think the same, and the rest of the Legends team thinks so too. Because here is a problem, none of the spectators are really enjoying the matches. Kim thinks to himself, I suspected that the people broadcasting and monitoring the monsters are not paying much attention because our team clears the dungeon quickly. Then Kim wonders, what should I do now? If I accept this offer and win the match, I will get 5 billion. But if I fail, I will lose the 3 billion. Kim then asks, can I make a counteroffer? The guy replies, okay, what counteroffer do you want to make? Kim says, as you said, if we win the match, you will give us 5 billion from your influence. But tell whoever gave this offer to increase the prize money from 5 billion to 10 billion. If you can do this, I will accept your offer. Hearing 10 billion, both Lee Minute-woo and Suho become very excited, and even the guy who was discussing the offer gets very enthusiastic. Kim then says, if you don't accept this offer, there is no benefit. But think about this, if we don't accept it, we can easily get 5 billion anyway. Kim thinks to himself, I really need 500 million. Even if we divide 5 billion by 3, each person will get just over 2 billion. After spending 500 million, I will have only 5 billion left, which isn't much to cover casualties. But things could change drastically if our prize money increases to the full 10 billion. If that happens, Kim can not only buy lectures but also buy agility for himself, which would be much better. He decides that it's worth the risk. Kim then extends his hand and asks the guy, so, tell me, will you accept my offer now? After this, the scene shifts to a group of guys talking. One says, I never imagined that the Dream Team would ever make such a counteroffer. They already knew what the organizations want and what their main intentions are. He adds, the Dream Team is truly the best, not only in fighting but in every aspect. But sometimes I feel they shouldn't take such a big risk. Then another guy says, well, this shows how confident they are. The scene then returns to our protagonist, who asks Lee, do you think they will actually do it? Lee, while sipping tea, replies, yes, I think they will. Hearing this, the protagonist gets very excited and says, can you be this sure? Because until now, you have never answered so confidently. Lee responds, you should know that this time's monster is not an ordinary one, it's going to be a revenant monster. We are shown the face of the revenant monsters. We learn that these are a type of undead monsters known as 9-star monsters. If you kill one, it will revive once again from a second core, which means you have to kill it twice. After this explanation, Lee speaks up. He says, yeah, this one seems pretty decent, nothing too special though. But Tackler replies, hey, you're not joking, right? You should know this is a 9-star monster. Then Lee responds, even if we talk about the Dream Team, it's possible to handle this. Tackler says, I know it's performing well, but you should still think carefully. Lee tells him, come on, be quiet now. Let's just stand here for a while and see what happens. Next, the scene cuts to the dungeon, where Lee is talking to Minhyul and Suyo. Lee asks Suyo, don't you think our captain has already been captured through ghost money? Then he asks, Suyo, tell me, was the captain always like this? Suyo replies, yes, you're right. He was always chasing after money, but still, he might not be that bad. After this, Kim quiets them both down and says, hey Brett, listen to me. This is our last chance. If we get 10 billion this time, we will give it our best in this final round. After hearing this, both become highly motivated and say, yes, we will definitely give our best. Here, Kim and his entire team sense something different. Suddenly, a ghost-type monster appears. After seeing this, Kim and his whole team get very excited. Then, we see the ghost's face, it's wearing a very creepy smile. Next, outside the dungeon, the scene shows someone dropping a cup of tea. It turns out to be Lee. He says, "What is this monster doing here?" Seeing this shocks the entire crowd. They say, "This is Dogger. This is not a 9-star monster, this is a 10-star monster. And this 10-star monster is ranked at the very top." Then, a voice from the crowd asks, "What is going on here? Is the organizer trying to kill this team?" Lee shouts, "What is this mine-type monster doing here? This is forbidden. How could it come here? Damn it! A huge error has happened. Now I think I have to do something." We then see Lee starting to run, but Tackler tries to stop him. However, Lee doesn't stop and keeps running. Lee is thinking that no monster inside this dungeon can kill anyone, even if it's a 10-star or 12-star monster. That's not a big problem. But there is one case possible inside this dungeon: someone could die for the first time. Only mine-type monsters can do this because they attack the mind. The mental state of the person gets severely damaged, which can even harm the brain. This damage can be fatal. Although the attack is just an illusion, the damage is directly to the brain and is very serious. In the past, the mine-type monsters that appeared here were only 5 or 6 stars. But the biggest problem now is that the Dream Team is facing a 10-star mental attack monster. This is not something any normal student can easily handle. We then see a scene inside the dungeon where Lee and Minul are terrified. Lee says, "No, this isn't me." Suyo pleads, "Please don't kill my dad." Then an illusion attack hits them, damaging their brains badly. Outside the dungeon, Lee runs and thinks if this continues, all Dream Team members will die. Lee reaches the control room for the dungeon, where the dungeon is controlled, and immediately tells everyone to get out of there. The staff respond that they already tried, but everything is overloaded now, and it's impossible to do anything. Lee tells them, then block the cores and cut off the supply. But the staff say that if they do that, the cost will be very high. Lee is seen getting very angry at this point. He was speaking angrily, saying, "You bastards, you all have gone crazy. Do you really want to kill people just because of some billions? You don't understand at all how bright the future of those children is. Where has your mind gone?" But after that, we see the scene shift to the dungeon, where Kim is standing, laughing heartily. He says, "I'm not affected by any of this." The ghost monster looks very confused, but Lee Minul and Suyo are lying on the ground because the ghost monster had cast illusion magic on them. However, Kim shows no effect from this magic. Seeing this, everyone is very curious. Then the timeline shifts a little back to when the Dream Team entered the dungeon for the first time. Suddenly, the Daegor monster appears, and Kim's whole group asks, "What exactly is this Daegor monster doing?" Next, we see that the Daegor monster's eyes turn completely red. With those eyes, it creates illusion magic. Because of this, the eyes of Lee Minul, Kim, and Suyo all turn red. The monster casts illusion magic on them, and both Lee Minul and Suyo fall victim to it. Lee Minul starts feeling disturbed and says, "No, this isn't me." Suyo says, "No, don't kill my dad." Watching them suffer so much, the monster enjoys it immensely. Meanwhile, Kim asks them, "Guys, what's wrong with you? Why are you reacting like this?" At that moment, the monster notices Kim and starts attacking him with a powerful attack. Kim begins to hear a voice telling him, "You want to do all this, right? But how long will you be able to hold it?" This is quite shameless. Illusions start to hit Kim as the monster increases the strength of its illusion magic. Kim hears multiple voices taunting him, "Do you think you have become a professional?" Despite this, Kim stands completely calm. It becomes clear that none of this affects him. Seeing this, the monster is shocked and confused. The monster then speaks to Kim in its own language, but Kim cannot understand it and wonders, what did it just say? Suddenly, Kim's phone starts receiving continuous notifications. One of the notifications shows that his Buddha lecture progress rate has increased from 0.9 to 1.5. Many more notifications come in, and Kim smiles as he watches them. Outside, people notice this and realize that Kim isn't affected at all. Seizing the opportunity, Kim pulls out his spare weapon from his subspace pouch and moves forward to attack the monster. Seeing Kim approaching, the monster further increases the limits of its powers. This causes Kim to hear even more voices. The voices say, "Tell me the truth. If you didn't have Transient Academy, you would be completely good for nothing. You don't have any special abilities." Hearing this, Kim starts to feel mentally pulled, thinking to himself, this is not Daegor's wish. These are all my unconscious thoughts. But this Daegor monster is bringing them back. Kim feels immense anxiety and fear because all the old negative thoughts and doubts are returning. The Daegor monster is repeating these thoughts and feeding them into Kim's ears. At this moment, Kim remembers a lecture by Siddhartha Gautam. In that lecture, Siddhartha says, never mix your imagination and real life together. Every incident that happens to you is a connection. It prepares your destiny. The more incidents you face, the brighter you can make your future. At that moment, we see Kim's lecture score increase again from 1-4. Here, the total score shown is 21-9. Then, we notice Kim's evil thoughts emerging. Suddenly, those thoughts come right in front of him, and they begin to speak to Kim, asking, what do you think? Is it possible that everything that has already happened cannot happen again? The real point here is that Kim never wants to accept that throughout his entire life, he may never achieve anything. But just then, Kim starts recalling Siddhartha Gautam's lecture. In it, Siddhartha explains that a depressed person always dwells on their past, whereas a calm person consistently focuses on the present. After that, Siddhartha Gautam goes on to say that if a painter becomes overly greedy, meaning excessively selfish, they start throwing all the colors onto the canvas without any thought. In the end, all the colors on that canvas turn completely black. This is why whenever you have too much burden, you need to remove it from your heart. If you're very confused, accept your present. First, climb up the mountain, then come down. Listen carefully to all the sounds of water. Watch the clouds fluttering in the sky. Feel the water, the land, and the mountains around you. And finally, remind yourself, aren't you a child of the universe? You absolutely deserve to know where you truly belong. Even if you feel too much, it's okay. Then, we see Kim's lecture score increasing again, now from 2-5. At this point, Kim shatters his entire illusion and moves forward toward the ghost. But the monster strengthens its power even more. After this, evil thoughts start coming back to Kim. He is able to do this repeatedly because it's a level 10 monster. Then, Kim's evil thoughts tell him, okay, you think about the present because of your calm mind. That sounds good, but haven't you ever thought that you might actually deserve all this? Can you say you're living a good life? Then, Kim remembers Buddha's lecture once again. Siddhartha Gautam explains, what do you think, who are you really? The struggle you face isn't random. All the great moments in our lives are captured just to teach us something. But the real truth is, everything we do or learn is to make our lives easier. The special moments that the whole world remembers mean nothing if you don't accept every moment of your life. After all, you have yourself. And if you can't accept yourself, you can't teach anyone anything. Because of that, you won't be able to take anything from others either. You don't even have the right to share your things with others. That is why every new breath you take is a new movement for you. This movement is critical, and after it, you gain great strength. Then, we see Kim quickly moving toward his evil thoughts. Using his own hands, Kim pushes his evil thoughts back and goes straight toward the monster. As soon as Kim reaches the monster increases its power to the limit. Because of the monster's dangerous attack, Kim thinks to himself that after such a powerful attack, all his senses and body parts are starting to malfunction. We see Kim in great pain. Suddenly, a golden aura surrounds him from all sides. Now Kim says, all my anxiety has completely disappeared. There are no more evil thoughts in my mind. To put it simply, I have entered a state of unwearying hurt. After this, Kim's progress rate increases from 7-3. Despite all this, Kim disconnects his entire aura and all his godly strength into his spear. Because of this, a powerful aura forms around him. Seeing Kim's power, even the monster becomes quite afraid. And here, Kim is talking to that monster. He says, by now, it's way too late for you. You have already made mistakes, and because of that, you can't dodge this at all. But actually, here, I want to thank you a lot because it's because of you that my progress rate has increased significantly. You have, in a way, acted like a lecturer for me. After this, we see Kim directly attacking the monster, which causes the monster's heart to come out. Then the scene shifts, and we see the entire screen turn completely black. After that, all the screens go off. Seeing all this, the members in the control room become very shocked. They have no idea what's going on. After watching all of this, everyone starts discussing how all this could even be possible. Anyone who saw this was completely stunned. One of them thought, how on earth did he defeat the Daegor monster? Because the Dago monster was ranked top even among 10-star monsters, and it was a mind control type monster. Honestly, there was no candidate who could withstand or block the mental attacks of a 10-star monster, let alone deal with it physically, because the monster was just like a ghost. Only soul-based attacks could even challenge it. When 8 Dago monsters appeared together in the dungeon in the past, only those soul-based fighters helped us. But I still don't understand how Kim Soo-jeon managed to defeat that monster with just a single attack. Then the person says, seriously, no one in our guild is capable of handling this, so I can't even imagine bringing him into our guild. Next, we get a scene from the player waiting room, where a member of the Gao Academy is also shocked and thinking to himself, how is this even possible? He knows this is a 10-star monster. Even if it was artificially created through resource recreation, it must still be at least an 8-star or 9-star monster. Besides, it was a mental type monster. Even if there was an S-rank hunter, it would still be very difficult to defeat. If Lee Hon had been involved, maybe it would have been possible, but otherwise, it just can't happen. He thinks to himself, there's no way I can catch up with Kim. He's way beyond me. Then the scene shifts back to Kim, who is limping because he used a lot of his power, more than his limit. Kim says, well, it's good that I didn't faint like I did in that dryad monster's forest. Maybe that's because my old man's lecture really worked. He remembers how, the first time he got a free pass, he defeated the monster at level 17 with some difficulty, but now it has increased to 14. 2 in a very short time. Well, that's still good, he thinks. At this point, Kim's energy had greatly decreased, so he was struggling badly. At this moment, Kim is feeling quite happy, not because of the victory alone, but because his progress rate has significantly increased after defeating the monster. Meanwhile, Lee Minul and Soo-yeon begin regaining consciousness. As they start coming to their senses, Kim looks at them and says, all right, finally. You both are back to normal. Minul, seeing Kim, reacts with concern. Captain. How are you? What happened to you? Soo-yeon adds, Oppa, are you okay? Both of them then look around and realize that the monster has been defeated. Shocked, they exclaim, Captain. Don't tell us you defeated that monster alone. Kim simply replies, yeah, I'm the one who took it down. Then he adds, come on, let's get out of here first. Following that, Minul and Soo-yeon assist Kim as they all exit the dungeon together. As soon as they step outside, people standing outside begin shouting, look. They're back. Hearing this, Kim mumbles, oh great, now who started yelling again? He looks ahead and sees a large crowd gathered. One of them steps forward and shouts, Candidate Kim Soo-jeon, no wait, Hunter Kim. Would you like to join our guild, the Vacu Guild? Before Kim can respond, another recruiter jumps in, no, please join our Labro Guild. We'll provide anything you need. Then a third person adds, if you want, we'll even make you our guild master. Just join us. Another one from a guild named Aliyah offers, if you join us, we'll let you raid dungeons for free in the future and provide all the resources you need. Kim, now overwhelmed, mutters, what the heck is going on here? While he's trying to make sense of it all, someone thrusts a business card toward him. Another recruiter argues, hey! Step aside, I was here first. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the chaos, hey, what are you all doing here? The Dream Team just returned from a mission. They were mentally attacked. We need to get them medical attention first. It's a medical officer, pushing his way forward. But despite his warnings, the recruiters continue pestering Kim. Just give us a minute. Please, let him be our guild master. Then the officer steps in again and says firmly, Dream Team, please come with us. We'll take you somewhere safe. As the situation is being handled, the door behind them opens and Shun rushes in, yelling Kim's name. She looks around and finds Kim calmly sitting. Kim greets her, Miss Shun, you are here. Shun approaches him and asks, is everyone all right? Kim reassures her, fortunately, yes. No one suffered from a mental attack or trauma. They are just asleep for now, which is a good sign. Shun then turns to Kim, and what about you? Are you okay? Kim responds, I'm fine, really. Just a little sore, but that's normal. Privately, Shun is shaken. In her thoughts, she says, I was terrified when I heard that a 10-star monster capable of mental attacks had appeared. I just hoped things wouldn't get worse. Then she continues thinking, Kim. He hasn't even officially taken the professional hunter test yet, but I can't see him as just a student anymore. He's grown so powerful. Kim, meanwhile, tries to open a bottle, but ends up breaking it with his strength. Watching this, Shun reflects, it's only been a few months since I first met him. Back then, I already knew, if I could bring him to our side, I could achieve great things. This moment, it's worth celebrating. Shun clutches her chest, clearly emotional. Kim notices and asks, Miss Shun, is everything all right? Are you feeling unwell? Shun quickly responds, No, everything's fine. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. Kim notices it immediately. A man enters and says, Excuse me, I'd like to speak with you. Kim looks up, stunned. He whispers, The association president. And yes, it turns out, the man is none other than the president of the Hunter Association himself. After that, Kim turns to the association president and asks, President, why have you come here? Before he can answer, Shun jumps in and says, President, it's been a really long time since we last met. Then the president steps forward and replies, I was really worried because there was an accident here. Hearing this, Kim responds, So, you came because of the Dagor incident? The president nods, Yes, that's exactly why I came. As the president looks at Kim, he begins thinking to himself, This is the guy who brought me the Azura Dragon Sword, a sword that the Sword Saint never handed over to anyone. When I heard about the accident, I assumed he had died. After all, that was a 10-star monster, Dagor, known for mental attacks. I never thought he'd survive that alone. This situation intrigues him even more. He begins forming assumptions in his mind and says to himself, No wonder the Sword Saint is so interested in him. Meanwhile, somewhere else, the Sword Saint suddenly starts shivering. Whoa, why is it suddenly so cold? His assistant replies, Sir, the weather has gotten really cold lately. That might be why. But the most interesting thing is that the Sword Saint's granddaughter is always seen with this guy. Back to the scene, Shun asks Kim, Okay, so tell me something. How exactly do you know the association president? Kim explains, What I mean is, I showed him the Azura Dragon Sword. The president, thinking to himself, Well, it's a good thing I met this guy. Then Shun asks again, So you're saying, you gave the Azura Dragon Sword to the president? Hearing this, Kim starts sweating nervously. Meanwhile, the president keeps thinking about the Sword Saint, which causes the Sword Saint's blood pressure to spike. His assistant, concerned, asks, Headmaster, are you all right? Back with Kim and the president asks, Are you hurt? You didn't get injured, right? Kim replies, No. I'm completely fine. I didn't suffer any serious injury. Kim then says, Since you asked me a question, I'd like to ask one as well. What exactly is going on here? How did a Dagor monster show up in that dungeon? Weren't there supposed to be only Raven End monsters? The president calmly explains everything to Kim. After hearing it all, Kim is left shocked. Wait. Was the mana core of the dungeon overloaded? Is that why the monster appeared? The president confirms, yes, you're absolutely right. It was Jiang Jimin who conducted an experiment. Jiang Jimin, the apprentice of the magic saint, had been experimenting with mutation. It was her first attempt, and that's what led to all this chaos. Kim processes this and mutters, mutation. If mana core overload can cause mutation, that means we might be able to artificially distort a dungeon. And if that's true, then they can manipulate dungeons artificially. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the president bows his head and says, I'm truly sorry. This won't ever happen again. And honestly, an apology alone doesn't feel like enough. Kim responds, Well, I didn't plan to bring this up, but since you've started, I have to. The president, sensing what's coming, replies, Whatever you want, we'll do it. We'll do anything to satisfy you. Hearing this, Shun instantly realizes what Kim is about to ask for. And then Kim says, All right then. I want 3 billion. Can we settle everything with 3 billion? The president replies, Yes. However much you need, we'll give it. Then he thinks to himself, just like last time, he only wants money. Looks like he really loves it. But the real twist comes when Kim reveals, Don't think I'm asking 3 billion for the whole team. I want 3 billion per person. You get it now, right? The president is stunned. He doesn't show it, but internally, he's in shock. Still, he keeps a straight face and says, All right. Whatever you want, we'll give it. Kim then begins narrating his journey. During the Red Battle, things were intense. So many ups and downs, but finally, it all came to an end. And during that battle, Kim displayed such overwhelming power that even the top 3 academies faced embarrassment. Yes, even they were utterly humiliated. However, due to the Dagor monster, things got out of control. After the incident, multiple guilds went crazy trying to recruit him. People were saying, connect with a dream team as fast as possible. We have to get him in our guild. Eventually, even regular people learned about him, and they too became extremely curious about who this guy really is. After that news spread, chaos erupted across Korea because of Kim and his team. The scene then shifts to the present, where Shun is speaking to Kim. She says, Oppa, please forgive me. I can only take 3 billion won. Lee Minul, supporting Suyo, adds, yeah, I'll only take 3 billion won as well. You can keep the rest. Kim responds, isn't that a bit too little? To this, Suyo says, to be honest, you and Lee Minul worked really hard, but I didn't contribute as much. Lee Minul agrees, if I'm being truthful, I don't even need the money. And honestly, you were the one who defeated that Dager monster on your own. If you weren't there, we would have died. What use would money be after our deaths? Suyo nods, you're right. I feel the same way. In fact, I don't even think I deserve these 3 billion won. Hearing this, Kim is initially shocked. Then, without hesitation, he hugs both of them and says, thank you so much, both of you. He adds, seriously, you two really don't care about material things. Some time passes, and we see Kim checking his phone. He says, we were already going to get 3 billion won as the winning prize. Then we received another 3.5 billion through sponsorships from a huge guild. And finally, the association president gave us 9 billion won. That totals 19 billion won. He continues, out of that, 3 plus 3. 5 is equal to 6. 5 billion went to Lee Minul and Suyo. Adding the 9.5 billion to my share brings my total to 22.5 billion won. Kim is now visibly delighted and says, now I can finally attend the Great Heaven Sage lecture. At the start of the episode, we see Kim meeting Shun. He asks, Miss Shun, has our Dream Academy reached first place? Shun replies, yes, it has. Overjoyed, Kim says, then let's go raid the 6-star dungeon. However, Shun seems hesitant. Her expression says she wants to say something but holds back. Finally, she says, actually, to raid a 6-star dungeon, a hunter must be A rank. Kim, thinking to himself, says, oh no, how could I forget? Miss Shun is still a B-class hunter. If this continues, I won't be able to raid that dungeon. Shun apologizes, I'm sorry, Kim. Because of me, you won't be able to enter the 6-star dungeon. Kim quickly responds, no. What are you saying? If you weren't there, I wouldn't have even participated in the tournament, let alone earned all this money. After saying that, Kim steps outside and starts thinking, I shouldn't have said that. I think I messed up. What should I do now? I can't raid the 6-star dungeon yet. How will I earn more money? He begins thinking hard. Should I wait and try to save another 4.5 billion won? Or should I attend the Manhwa lecture first? It would have been great if I could attend both lectures at once. Kim decides, let me ask my mentor once. He starts typing a message on his phone, I need your help. Can you? But before he can finish, his mentor suddenly appears. The mentor says, so, what do you want to ask me? Kim is startled, you scared the life out of me. The mentor chuckles, wow, did I really scare you that bad? Kim replies, could you not show up like this out of nowhere next time? The mentor laughs, where's the fun in that? Now, enough of that, tell me what's troubling you. Kim explains everything. After listening, the mentor says, so you still haven't figured out which lecture to attend first? Kim nods, yeah, that's right. The mentor thinks for a while and then says, Kim Shozun, your level has reached the required threshold. Kim, curious, asks, whose requirement are you talking about? The mentor leans in and asks, do you want to attend both lectures at once? If so, are you interested in a casualty discount? Here, Kim asks, what exactly is this casualty discount? In response, his mentor replies, as you can probably tell from the name itself, it's exactly what it sounds like. Then the mentor starts explaining properly. He says there's an event currently taking place at the Transcendent Academy. In this event, anyone can get a casualty discount of up to 50%. Kim, shocked, exclaims, "Wait, there's something like a discount at the Transcendent Academy too." The mentor confirms, yes, it does exist, but there are certain conditions to it. Kim then curiously asks, "Okay, first tell me, how much of a discount can we actually get?" To this, the mentor says, "You can even get a 100% discount." Hearing 100%, Kim is stunned. Because 100% discount simply means everything is absolutely free. Excited, Kim says, "So that means I can attend the Great Heaven Sage lecture for free." Then Kim eagerly asks the mentor, "Quickly tell me, how much discount can you give me?" The mentor answers, "Of course I'll give you a discount. But how can you expect to reap rewards without putting in any effort?" Kim pulls a funny face and mutters, "Just as I expected." Then he asks, "All right, tell me, what do I have to do to qualify for this discount?" The mentor explains, this event is being held to benefit students who have scored high in the Academy's mock tests. Kim, confused, asks, "What do you mean by a support event and a highest? What are you trying to say?" The mentor clears it up. The main goal of this event is to reward those students who scored the highest in the mock exams. Anyone who performed really well in those tests will be eligible for discounts ranging from 50% to 100%. At this point, it becomes crystal clear, students with outstanding mock test results will be rewarded. Kim is completely shocked. Because as we all know, Kim had taken the mock test a while back. And the results were terrible. So bad, they'd make our exam results look decent. He laments, "Oh no. If it's all based on the mock test, then I am doomed. My report card is so disastrous, anyone who sees it might faint." Then we're shown Kim's mock exam results. He failed in every subject. His total score? Just 29 points. Still, Kim thinks to himself, "I've learned Hercules' God lecture and Zen Aphan's footwork pretty well. And most importantly, my unwavering heart progress rate has increased a lot. I feel like if I attempt the mock test again, I might actually perform better than before." But then he sighs, "Even if I take it again, I won't be able to get the highest grades." Right then, the mentor says from behind, "I think I made a mistake." He continues, "Maybe I shouldn't have said a highest grade students. What I meant to say was students with the highest improvement." Kim still doesn't fully understand. So he asks, "What do you mean by a highest grade improvement?" The mentor clarifies everything. "Let me explain in simple words. If you manage to beat your previous record, just show significant progress, you can still qualify for the discount. But even here, there are some conditions. You need to improve your score by at least 50% to use the discount." He raises his voice and says, "If you improve by 50%, you'll get a 50% discount." He then gives an example. Suppose you scored 60 points in a subject in the previous mock exam. Now, if you get 90 points, that's a solid 30-point improvement. You'll qualify for the discount. So no, you don't need to top the exam. You just need to improve your own score. Hearing this, Kim is shook. He says, "So all I need to do is improve myself?" The mentor replies, "Yes. Based on what I've seen of Kim Seo-jun's level, I think you can easily clear it. So, do you want to give it a try?" Kim starts thinking, "If I had 28 points in one subject last time, and I improved that by just 14, 5 or 17, 5 points, I could easily reach 50 or 60. Excited, Kim exclaims, "No way, I am going to miss this golden opportunity." He tells the mentor, "Of course I want to go for it." Later, we see a scene where Kim says, "Finally, my fake gold brick is ready." He thinks to himself, "I know how greedy that dragon is for gold bars. I've fought it before and used this same trick. That's why I'm so confident right now." The mentor tells Kim, "Please wait just a little longer." Then Kim gets a notification, "Your casualty is now being measured." And then, after that, another message arrives explaining that your fee is 1 billion. Upon seeing this, Kim realizes that he will also have to pay for the mock exam, which means his expenses will increase. Seeing this, Kim becomes quite curious and asks his mentor, "Do I really have to pay to take the mock test as well?" The mentor then explains that if someone is taking the mock exam for the first time, they don't have to pay anything. But anyone taking the mock exam afterward will have to pay the fee. After hearing this, Kim starts thinking hard. You can easily see here that he's trying to calculate carefully, wondering, okay, even if I waste some money here, I still have 21.5 billion left. So, if I want a discount, I need a 60% discount so that I can attend both lectures for just 10 billion. If I get a 70% discount, I can even buy another item, like the accelerator, which is quite cheap. Then, Kim looks on sharply and says, all right, if I want to get a 60% discount, I need 3 points in each subject. Since there are a total of 7 subjects to be tested, Kim quickly starts clicking yes on the screen. Immediately after clicking, a message pops up saying, your test is being prepared. Please wait a moment. Soon, a scroll appears in front of Kim informing him that the test will cover all 7 subjects. Then another message arrives telling him that his first test will be on combat proficiency. It asks him to wait a little longer. Meanwhile, Kim is still holding the gold brick in his hand, saying, finally, the time has come. Dragon of Destruction, I am coming to meet you. Again, a message appears confirming that Kim's match is set. At that moment, Kim notices a strong gust of wind behind him. He throws his gold bar in that direction and starts running quickly. Using a subspace pouch, Kim pulls out his spare gear and runs excitedly, thinking to himself, when the dragon destroys the gold bar, I'll attack it. But then, instead of the dragon, its brother, the second dragon, appears. This one has multiple heads, and seeing this completely shocks Kim. He starts sweating profusely and says, what? How did a hydra appear here? This can't be possible. No matter how strong a dragon is, it can never have 2 or 3 heads. Then, Kim looks at his mentor. Instead of looking at Kim, the mentor checks a message on the phone. The message states that Kim has to defeat the 9-headed monster within 30 minutes. While Kim is still reading the message, the dragon charges all its attacks. Seeing this, Kim starts sweating even more. Next, the mentor encourages Kim, saying, come on, Kim, you can do this. Kim replies, wait a minute. You never told me the difficulty would increase. Suddenly, a huge explosion happens because the Hydra monster charges its attack and hits Kim. But Kim manages to dodge the attack. The mentor then tells him, I never told you about the difficulty level because we never repeat the same test twice. Kim realizes why he has been holding the gold bar tightly all this time. Kim says to the mentor, you should have told me all this earlier. Why are you telling me now? The Hydra attacks Kim again, but this time, Kim dodges it once more. Kim says, all right, I don't need to do much here, I just need to boost myself a little. Then, Kim starts moving through the air, showing that he has learned the footwork skill well. The mentor looks at Kim and asks, okay, tell me, where did you learn to increase your footwork speed? And it's not that long ago since I recommended it to you. Kim thinks to himself, good thing I learned this technique, but I'm still struggling to dodge the monster's attacks. The Hydra comes very close to Kim and begins charging its attack again. Kim barely dodges it, but on the last move, the Hydra hits him. Kim says, it's okay. It just hurt a little. I don't think it's a serious problem. But then, the pain grows intense where Kim was hit. Kim starts thinking, what is this? Why does it hurt so much? I can't bear this pain. If it's going to hurt this much, just kill me here. A notification appears informing Kim that stage 1 has failed. He still had 28 minutes and 47 seconds left, but he lost in just 1 minute and 13 seconds. Kim steps out of the test, panting heavily. The mentor approaches him and asks, Kim, are you in pain? Kim's face turns pale as he replies, pain? I feel like I'm in hell. The mentor then explains that it's the Hydra's poison causing Kim so much pain. After that, the mentor begins explaining that the Hydra monster ranks at the very top among all monsters, specifically, among poison-type monsters. This means that its poison is extremely painful. Meanwhile, Kim is thinking to himself, someone please shut this thing up. Because of it, I'm in such a bad state. Then Kim recalls what Chiron had told him earlier according to Greek mythology. Chiron explained that Hydra's poison is extremely dangerous. Not only that, the pain caused by the poison is so intense that no one can bear it. Chiron himself had once been poisoned by Hydra and had begged to be killed because of the unbearable pain. At first, Kim didn't understand why Chiron had said that, but now, in the same situation, Kim can fully feel it. Just then, we see Johnson's finger lecture level increases from 2-1, and Kim thinks, this was my first attempt. Maybe that's why I couldn't perform well. If this keeps going, I think I might have to take a casualty discount. Next, Kim gets 10 chances to repeat the test. He is ready to click yes, but still hesitates. The mentor watches this and cannot understand why Kim isn't clicking. Kim then asks the mentor if they can stop the test here. The mentor replies that they could, but he can't guarantee the points Kim will earn will be good enough for any discount. Kim starts crying, saying, "I had a feeling something like this would happen." Since he has no other option, he finally clicks yes. At that moment, the Hydra monster appears again, and Kim prepares himself to fight. He thinks, this test will be about combat proficiency. I don't have to do anything extraordinary, just capture more points than before. We then see Kim take out a new spear, his gun gear, and with great force, throw the weapon at the dragon. The spear hits the Hydra, and one of its heads disappears. Kim feels very happy and says, "This is great. I've taken down one head. I'll keep doing this for every head and easily win this match." But suddenly, the severed head starts regenerating. Seeing this, Kim becomes scared and wonders how this is even possible. The Hydra has reattached its head, and now it seems even angrier. Then, the Hydra attacks Kim with its poison. Seeing the attack, Kim realizes exactly what is going to happen next. He turns to the dragon and says, "Tell me, what do you want?" "Whatever you say, I'm ready to do it, just kill me with my own hands." After that, a message pops up saying Kim has failed stage 1 again, despite having 29 minutes and 41 seconds left. Kim opens his eyes and says, "How can I even fight that? How can anyone think I can defeat it?" He knows if this keeps going like this, he's in big trouble. Last time, he managed to land a hit on the dragon, but he still doesn't understand how to properly use points. If points come only from critical hits, then he's sure he'll end up with 0 points because he hasn't been able to scratch it properly yet. The mentor looks at Kim and says, "I think you're struggling a lot. You should try checking your commentary lectures." Kim is surprised and happy to hear this. He asks, "Do such things even exist?" The mentor explains that if Kim takes the commentary lecture, his score will be deducted. But if the lecture helps him, his score might increase. It depends entirely on whether Kim wants to take it or not. Meanwhile, Kim is crying and says, "What else can I do now?" In the end, Kim decides not to take the lecture and tries to give the test again. The Hydra appears once more, but soon after, Kim dies again. He says, "Just finish this already." The mentor encourages him, saying, "Come on Kim, you can do this." But this only makes Kim angrier. He gets hit by the Hydra and says, "I hate you so much. I don't like you at all. What kind of teamwork is this? I'm fighting alone here." But after that, we see that all the chances Kim has, they all get used up, and finally, Kim fails. Then, Kim receives a notification on his phone saying that he has used all the remaining chances, and his next test will be after 9 days. So, for now, his current score is being considered. Kim is pleading a lot, saying, "Please, at least give me some decent marks." After that, we see Kim's points are 8. 8. Seeing this, Kim becomes quite happy and says, "Finally, I have doubled my score." The mentor then says, "Wow, Sojun, you've done a great job. Your current score is double your previous one. But honestly, I don't understand when you learned the footstep technique. Last time, I only recommended it to you, but now I see you have mastered it." The mentor adds, "If I compare you with previous students, your growth rate is really impressive." Hearing so much praise, Kim becomes very happy and says, "Really, man?" But then the mentor points out, "Your state has dropped significantly." This means Kim's overall level is still quite low. Hearing this, Kim replies, "Why do you always say such things to me? Please don't." The mentor says, "I'm just speaking the truth." Meanwhile, Kim thinks to himself that sometimes people who seem good on the outside actually hate him a lot inside. Still, he is glad his score has reached 8 and decides to keep improving from here. Next, we see a scene a few days later where Kim is staring intensely at someone. After a while, he drops to his knees saying, "Man, I'm exhausted." Then, we see a scene from 9 days earlier, where Kim is taking a basic endurance test. A person tells him to do his best. Kim is given a level 1 task, he must carry heaven for an hour. The person adds that Kim has to carry it only until he returns with the golden apple. Kim pleads, "Please have some mercy on this beggar and give me at least a little time. This is madness, how will I complete this?" After the test, Kim's score is 5. 9. Then, we see a scene from 6 days earlier, where Kim takes a reaction speed test. The level 1 task is to keep looking into the eyes of the person in front. One person tells Kim, when I close one eye, I open the other. But we see the person doesn't have just one eye, his entire body is covered in eyes. Kim says, wow, this guy has so many eyes. At this point, Kim's eyes turn red and start watering. The result shows Kim scored 4-2. Then, a scene from 3 days earlier shows Kim's test against Mana. Kim has to attack the leech standing in front of him. He attacks but suddenly stops. The leech asks, is that all you've got? Kim replies, yes, that's all because I haven't attended Mana's lecture yet. Kim scores only 1-6 in this test. Finally, we reach the present day where Kim says, man, I'm completely exhausted. He thinks to himself that his total points are 9-1, and with the addition of current scores, he has 11-2. But his target was 20-3. Kim asks the mentor, tell me honestly, if my score is a little less or a little more than 50, will I get a discount? The mentor replies, no, that's not possible. Your improvement rate must be at least 50. Otherwise, you won't get any benefit. Hearing this, Kim says, I really went all out this time. The episode ends here. At the beginning of the episode, Kim tells the mentor that his 1 billion points went to waste. The mentor says, okay, your exam is today. Let's start. Then the 5th exam begins, which is a mental test. Kim has to listen only to the leech's words. The leech says, I hope you despise me as much as you did in the last round. This time, Kim is determined to score high no matter what. We see the leech rambling for a long time, and Kim listens patiently. The leech then says, wow, it's amazing that you gave your best. Suddenly, Kim receives a message that his level 1 test is complete. Kim says, finally, I completed it. Here, Kim is thinking to himself that he has completed the first level quite easily, which was actually very simple. Although he had already completed level 1 before, this time he feels that he has done it a bit better. After this, in the next round, Kim is told that all the demon souls in hell will try to possess his body, but he must not let them possess him at all. The time limit for this is 1 hour. Then, we see Kim starting to feel something. He begins to hear many voices speaking to him, blaming him. They say, this all happened because of you. We died because of you. We will never forget you. However, Kim remains unaffected by these voices. He thinks to himself, what nonsense is going on here? Next, we see that level 2 is also completed, and then level 3 begins. In level 3, Kim has to become a tough guy. A very beautiful lady appears before him, trying to tempt him with her words. She says, wow, you are really cute. But Kim, now acting as a strong guy, responds firmly, Auntie, why are you behaving so coldly with me? From this, you can understand how tough Kim has become. After this, level 3 is completed easily. Seeing all this, the mentor is very impressed and asks Kim, how did you do this? Kim replies, I don't really know, but yes, I endured it. Then, Kim receives a notification that level 4 is about to start. In this level, Kim is told that he will only hear the sounds of hell, screams and cries, for a full 30 minutes. We see that Kim's entire atmosphere changes, and he starts hearing many voices again. These voices plead, either save us or kill us. All the souls blame Kim, saying, because of you, we are dead. Now you have to take responsibility for this. Suddenly, a monster appears before Kim, accusing him, all this is your fault. Kim calmly extends his hand and asks, wait a minute, have we met before? This surprises the monster, who is confused and doesn't understand what Kim means. The scene becomes awkward, and Kim repeats, have we met somewhere, or do you know me? After this, we see that level 4 is completed. The mentor is again very impressed by Kim's progress. Next, level 5 starts. Kim is told that if the Demon King offers him anything, he must refuse it without accepting. Then, a Demon King appears before Kim, with large wings. As the Demon King arrives, Kim hears strange voices saying that even the strongest could not endure this challenge before. The Demon King explains that there are 4 desires that even heaven cannot grant. The first desire is lust. For those who don't know, lust means intense desire or craving. Kim hears many voices related to this desire. The Demon King tells Kim that lust is a desire everyone has, and few people reject it easily. Kim manages to endure this temptation quite easily. The second desire is greed. Kim is known to be very greedy for money. However, we see Kim struggling hard to control himself. He hears many voices telling him about the greed for money, saying it is a desire that everyone has. Even in heaven, many souls don't have money. The Demon King says, if you want, I can give you as much money as you want, and with this money, you can order all the delicious food you desire. The third desire is sloth, meaning laziness. Kim hears voices telling him that even angels rest a lot and don't have to do much work. Kim almost gets influenced by this temptation, hearing voices that say, do whatever you want. Even heaven won't stop you. You can live your whole life comfortably. But Kim resists this temptation as well. The fourth desire is anger. The voices tell Kim that the more anger he feels, the more relief he will get. He can torture all those who troubled him. They urge him not to force himself and to come quickly if he wants to. After that, we see Kim firmly refusing it, saying, no, man, I'm not going to do this. Then, at the fifth level, there is enum, which means the desire to obtain something. At this point, Kim starts hearing many voices telling him that with its help, he can do anything. Whatever you want inside heaven, you can get it all. You can even use it to burn others. But then, we see Kim easily registers this too. After doing so much, Kim becomes very exhausted and says, man, I barely managed to register this. Otherwise, I would have completely failed here. Then, at the sixth level, some danger appears. This is of pride. You all must know well about pride. It is talked about everywhere. We see that Kim has fallen into this illusion. He is thinking in his mind, this has become really dangerous. Then, we see Kim coming out of that match, where he is told he has failed level 5, even though he still had 22 minutes remaining. Kim regrets it, saying, damn it, I failed. After that, Kim checks his phone and says, the previous levels were quite easy, but suddenly why did this become so tough? Then, we see Kim still has 10 chances left, and he clicks retry. But after that, the results come immediately, showing that Kim keeps failing repeatedly at this level. He tries again and again, but keeps losing. In his mind, Kim is saying, I will definitely clear this at least once. Then, Kim receives a notification saying that he has cleared level 5, which means the mental level. Let me clarify, this does not mean he has completed the entire level 5, but that all his chances, 10 out of 10, are now over. That's why Kim gets this notification. Next, Kim receives another notification telling him that his next exam will be in 3 days and that his scores are still being measured. Then, Kim says, honestly, every time I got stuck at the same place, inside the illusion of pride, which was really tough for me. At this moment, the mentor asks Kim how he managed to reach level 5. Kim replies, it's a good thing that my unwavering heart progress rate has increased a lot. After this, the mentor makes a strange face and says, it hasn't been long since I last saw your progress rate. How much have you really increased it? Tell me. Kim tells the mentor that his unwavering heart's progress rate is 31.7. The mentor asks, what did you say? I didn't hear properly. Kim repeats, it is 31.7. Hearing this, the mentor becomes very curious and asks, how is this even possible? Last time your progress rate was approximately 15.5. How did you increase it by 16.2 in such a short time? Kim says, it just happened. But the mentor doesn't believe him and snatches the phone from Kim's hand. The mentor checks all the progress rates Kim had mentioned and finds them correct. The unwavering heart's progress rate really is 31.7. Then the mentor says, wow, you're really telling the truth, but I can't believe how you did this. The mentor then watches Hercules' lecture, where the progress rate is at 53.6. Seeing this, the mentor becomes even more curious and asks, how are you doing all this? How did you increase Hercules' progress rate so much? Kim replies, well, I guess I just got a little lucky. The mentor makes an even stranger face and asks, which heaven's definite luck do you have that is increasing your progress rate so much? Kim tells the mentor, why is your expression changing so much? Then we see the mentor suddenly yelling loudly, how do you get so many numbers increased? Put all this aside and first tell me, how did your Buddha lecture's progress rate increase so much? Even all the students in my academy have never increased their progress rate this much. Seeing the mentor shouting so much, Kim puts his fingers in his ears and says, it must be luck. I was just really lucky. That's all. Hearing this again, the mentor makes a very strange face. After that, Kim's result is finally calculated, and it comes out to be 22.8. He has a plus 13 bonus. Seeing his result, Kim says, finally, I have done it. Then we see the results where Kim has failed in every section, but his total score is 52. 2 points. Kim shouts excitedly, "Finally, I have completed everything and raised my marks above 50. Looking at this, Kim thinks to himself, my original target was 70 points, but suddenly my target has increased to 80. This means I can now get a total discount of 80 points. Finally, I can also take Sun Wukong's lecture from Great Heaven. Kim then says, if I didn't have the unwavering heart, I wouldn't have been able to get 80 points here. Unwavering heart, thank you so much. After this, we see the mentor, who is very curious, saying, how is all this even possible? Kim replies, Mentor, I want to talk to you about something. After that, Kim asks the mentor, exactly how many points will I need so that I don't fail? The mentor replies that Kim doesn't need to do too much, but in every subject, he must score at least 60 points. If Kim manages to get approximately 60 marks in each subject, it means he has passed. However, if he scores less than 60 in even one subject, he will be considered completely failed. Kim responds, okay, I understand that clearly. But can you tell me the total score I need to achieve? The mentor thinks for a moment and then says, usually, it varies with each exam, but if you do the math properly, it will be around 90 points per subject. So, when you add it all up, you will need around 630 points, maybe a little more. Hearing the figure of 630 points, Kim becomes very enthusiastic. Then, we see Kim's total points. He currently has 52. 2 points. At this, Kim feels quite disappointed and says, why does this always happen to me? After this, Kim decides to move on and start searching for Sun Wukong's lecture. Seeing this, the mentor says, so, you are going to take Sun Wukong's lecture? Kim confirms, yes, you guessed it right. Actually, I haven't really thought about the lectures yet, so I figured it would be best to start with Sun Wukong's lecture since it is supposed to be really good. Next, Kim receives a notification informing him that all the skills available here belong to the Great Heaven Sage, and he can choose any one skill from them. Kim's attention is drawn to one skill called the Greatly Heaven Meteor Staff. He looks at it and says, let's check the price once. The cost doesn't really matter much because I already have an 80% discount. So, I'm sure I can get it at a very cheap rate. Kim then decides to try it once and clicks on the Great Heavenly Meteor Staff. But immediately, he receives an error notification stating that if he wants to learn this technique at the Heaven Sequel grade, he must first learn the skill called Deflecting Grasping Piercing. Kim scratches his head in confusion and says, why are there so many problems here? But someday, I will definitely master the Great Meteor Staff. He decides to first learn the required skill mentioned in the notification. Another notification explains this skill, followed by one that calculates his current skill level. Then, Kim gets a notification about the lecture fee, which is a whopping 5 billion. Shocked by this amount, Kim feels very distressed. But shortly after, another notification appears, telling him that if he wants to learn this skill, he should quickly click the play button. Kim thinks, are the fees really this high? Meanwhile, the mentor says, honestly, this is actually quite cheap now. It used to be way more expensive. Kim replies, that's good to know because I don't have to pay 27 billion now, thanks to the 80% discount I already have. Soon, another notification tells Kim that he can start playing the lecture. But then, Kim looks at a huge obstacle and becomes very confused. After a moment, he pats his phone and says, how can this lecture freeze like this? I have invested the entire 5 billion in it. I hope my money isn't wasted. At that moment, Sun Wukong arrives and apologizes. We then see Sun Wukong's face fully. Sun Wukong says, sorry, I'm late. Master Tropica called me suddenly, so I was delayed. Sun Wukong then gets angry and says, that monk can't do anything to me. He may have grown up, but his habits are still childish. Kim feels very happy hearing this and says, so, this is the Great Heavenly Sage, Sun Wukong. He smiles and adds, it's really great that I'm able to attend his lecture. Sun Wukong apologizes again and says, I apologize once more for being late, but I promise to give you a perfect lecture. Then, Sun Wukong starts explaining that today's lecture will cover some special points. First, he will teach the basics of the staff, how to properly use it. Then, he will explain sparesmanship. Finally, he will talk about reflecting and piercing techniques.